to order this morning. It is 8:30, and if I could have a roll call, please.
Member Petrowski.
Here.
Vice Chair Chaplin.
Here.
Member Hart.
Here.
Member LaPlante. Here. Member Chavez. Here. Chair Rutledge.
Here. I'm going to hold my remarks this morning. I will say, though, that I'm going to talk a lot more about the environment and the things that we're not doing to kind of rein in our destruction of our environment more and more. And I'll give kudos to the chairman for allowing me a chairman's remarks, whether I have a vote at the county board or not. So I thank him for that. And I'm going to try not to sound militant, but I think the moment is now for that. So be prepared for that. And I do believe we have a public comment this morning.
Yes, good morning, everybody. I'm Catherine Francis, and I'm a member of the Wheaton League of Women Voters. And I'm also an observer for the league. So I've been coming to your meetings since October of 2019. This is my first time back since COVID, and I'm glad to be here and glad to see everybody. But this morning, I just wanted to thank Chair Rutledge and the committee for all the work you're doing on behalf of the environment. And also, I applaud your recent discussion about the alternatives to the dinnerware. And I know at the last meeting or a recent meeting, you talked about the possibility of providing mugs to your employees to use. At least that was one step to reduce containers to hold coffee or water. But I'd like to tell you about a corporate experience I've had where we talked about it in my corporate life, and we thought, well, we could give the employees that, but then we decided to ask them to bring their own. And it was remarkable how much they responded and they did it. So I encourage you to think about that as an option versus buying. Certainly we all have them on our shelves in our kitchen cabinets. I mean, I have mine here this morning with bringing my coffee. So I just wanted to make a comment about that. And then just really encouraging you on that effort. And then I was in a webinar last night about PFAS, and I just wanted to remind you about that family of compounds and their additives that are used in food packaging. They're a coating to prevent grease seepage, but they really are a problem. And they're also a fire retardant, so they're used, but they're finding it across the country in water, and it's very difficult to get out. And like we were talking, it's like a forever problem because it's really difficult to get rid of. But just a reminder, as you do your work, to pay attention to that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Catherine. On the PFAS, John Oliver had a show on it Sunday night. So if you don't know what it is, look up this last Sunday from John Oliver, and yeah, forever chemicals. That's kind of a scary term. Moving along, I'll ask for a motion to approve our minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Minutes are approved, and we're going to go right to presentations this morning. I'm going to welcome David Serena. He is the Regional Manager of Community Affairs at Nicor Gas, and he's going to talk about fueling communities forward. Welcome, David.
Thank you very much, everyone. So hopefully you can hear me.
We hear you.
Thumbs up. Okay, very good. And the presentation, I see it on my screen, so I assume it's on the screen there.
We're good.
All right. Well, my name is David Serena. I'm the Regional Manager of Community Affairs with Nicor Gas. My role is to basically manage the relationship between our company and the communities we serve by working with mayors, managers, many times public works and first responders. Also involved in local chambers, economic development, and charitable organizations within my territory. I do cover DuPage, Will, Grundy, and Kendall counties. So there's been a lot of discussion about climate change and sustainability, mostly related to how we reduce our greenhouse gas emissions. So this presentation is just a brief snapshot, if you will, of what we're doing at Nicor Gas internally and what we're doing for our customers and how we're supporting our communities with their sustainability goals. So if we can go to the next slide, please. So just a little bit about Nicor Gas. We are the state's largest natural gas distributor and owner and operator of one of the largest natural gas reservoir storage systems in North America. We deliver the comfort and convenience of natural gas safely and reliably to 2.2 million customers in more than 650 communities throughout Northern Illinois. We deliver about 4.6 billion therms of gas annually. With 2,000 employees and a nearly 34,000 mile distribution system, the safety of our employees, the public, and our pipelines is our highest priority. This commitment is demonstrated in our rigorous operating standards and our effort to continuously meet and exceed state and federal regulations. You can see the area shaded in blue is our coverage area. Go to the next slide. Next slide, please. You may not realize it, but in the last 10 years, Nicor has been acquired twice. In 2011, AGL Resources acquired Nicor Gas. And in 2016, AGL Resources was then acquired by Southern Company, one of the nation's premier energy companies. The combination of the companies created the second largest utility in the nation in terms of customer base, with 9 million customers across the United States. In addition to Nicor Gas, Southern Company, which is based in Atlanta, has local natural gas distribution companies in Georgia, Virginia, and Tennessee, serving about 4.3 million customers, and electric utilities in Georgia, Alabama, and Mississippi, serving about 4.8 million customers. And this image gives you an idea of our footprint enterprise-wide. Next slide, please. So we feel natural gas is key to the clean energy transition that will be taking place here in Illinois. 75% of energy needs in Northern Illinois are met by natural gas. 80% of the customers in many industries, including steel, chemical, food processing, agribusiness, biofuels, they depend on natural gas and you really use it in ways that can't easily be replaced by electricity. Nationwide, there's already been a 32% reduction in CO2 emissions since 2005, and that's primarily due to the move from coal to natural gas and electrical generation. Natural gas use in Illinois by Illinois businesses has grown by 8% over a 10-year period ending in 2017. And due to its affordability, has saved Illinois businesses $13.8 billion and residential customers $11 billion in energy cost alone. Next slide, please. So as the state's largest natural gas distributor, Nicor Gas is proud to play a significant role in the communities where we live, work, and serve. The numbers you see on the screen represent our spend in 2020 alone. But you can see we issued $20.6 million in energy efficiency program rebates. We've contributed $2.3 million to community, social, and charitable programs, provided $1.3 million in COVID-19 relief and support. We also spent $449 million with diverse suppliers. And our capital investment spend was about $881 million. But in addition to these numbers and contributions, Nicor Gas is also committed to protecting the environment for our future generations. Earlier this year, we announced an ambitious sustainability initiative to support the conservation of 10,000 acres of open land within our service area. We kicked this initiative off at an event with the Joliet Park District where we gave away 500 starter plants. Next slide, please. So our vision for communities of the future includes several key elements. First, we're connecting our communities with smart technologies to help them operate affordably and efficiently. We're soon adding special tools for customers to better manage gas usage as a result of our recent meter upgrade project. Secondly, by being resilient, we're providing continuous and reliable energy and supporting renewable energy. Our resilience was certainly tested during the recent polar vortex in 2019, where our system was able to meet extremely high demands as a result of the bitter cold weather. Third, we're providing affordable energy service by utilizing existing infrastructure that currently delivers energy at a cost roughly 1/4 that of electricity. And finally, we're focused on being equitable to ensure that clean, safe, reliable, and affordable energy is accessible to all communities. Next slide, please. So Nicor Gas, we've set an ambitious target to achieve net zero methane emissions from our operations by 2030. And we're also supporting our parent company, Southern Company, in meeting its enterprise-wide goal of net zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2030. Through our investment in pipeline and infrastructure modernization, we've already reduced our annual operation emissions by 54% over a 10-year period ending in 2019. So the list you see here, this list is just some of the infrastructure improvement programs that have helped us reduce our emissions on our operations side. Investing in Illinois, this is a program, an ICC approved multi-year program that allows us to more rapidly upgrade some of our aging infrastructure. Cast iron in our system has been known to corrode and cause leak issues, so we celebrated the complete elimination of cast iron in 2018. We're also nearly complete with our elimination of our copper and PAC service lines, PAC being a plastic aluminum composite service line that was used for a period of time, also known to create issues and leaks in our system. We've also added RCV, being remote control valves, to our transmission pipelines. What this does is it allows us to more quickly shut down the gas flow in our pipeline system should there be an emergency. And we've also been upgrading our storage field gathering lines. This is a kind of a network of piping in our storage fields that gather the gas from underground. In addition to the list that you see, I wanted to mention just a few more improvements that we're making on our operations side. Our flaring process, when we work on our transmission lines or stations, many times we have to blow down pipeline segments. This can involve venting gas from our larger diameter pipelines to atmosphere. Sometimes this could be as long as a couple of miles of pipe. Instead of venting this gas to atmosphere, we are now using enclosed flare stacks that eliminate methane emissions as a result of this type of activity. We're also working on advanced leak detection technology. Many technologies today are only effective within a few feet of a gas leak, and really when we survey our system, we're traveling by foot using maps to determine where our pipes are to check for leaks. We're researching some emerging technology that can be mounted actually on a vehicle and can detect gas leaks within 300 feet of that vehicle. So we'll soon be able to drive through our system to check for leaks. The biggest issue or risk with emissions on our operations side is third-party damage to our facilities that causes natural gas to escape to atmosphere. We're increasing our efforts there on damage prevention in several ways. We continue to promote the 811 Julie system. We will soon be adding or taking control of the majority of locating on our own facilities instead of using USIC or third-party contractors to do that type of work. And we're putting more effort into educating excavators on safe digging practices. So we hope a lot of this effort is going to minimize the risk to our facilities in the future. Next slide, please. So how can we support our community sustainability goals? A big part of that is still going to remain on the energy efficiency side. At Nicor Gas, we continue to implement a comprehensive energy efficiency program for our customers. Customers have saved more than 168 million therms and reduced CO2 emissions by more than 893,000 metric tons through the Nicor Gas Energy Efficiency Program, which, to give you some perspective on that, that's essentially equivalent to the emissions generated by nearly 200,000 passenger vehicles in a single year. In the past 10 years, nearly 900,000 customers have participated in the program. We also believe that affordable, reliable, safe, and clean energy is the foundation for the future. We know we need to adapt and evolve as a company. So we're developing new fuel sources that we hope to introduce into our distribution system, including renewable natural gas and hydrogen. A renewable natural gas, or RNG, is a sustainable and alternative fuel produced from naturally occurring methane that is captured primarily from landfill, agricultural, wastewater plants, and food waste sites. RNG facilities capture this methane and repurpose it, making it into an energy source that looks and acts like geologic natural gas, but is considered carbon neutral at its point of use. This is truly a win-win proposition, as this reduces emissions from existing waste streams while providing a safe and reliable energy source. I know in DuPage you're doing some of this type of work already with your landfill or wastewater plants. Will County also just announced, or recently announced, that they have a trash to cash RNG project that will be developed at their landfill site in Wilmington. I think that's the Prairie View site. They're anticipating about a $12 million revenue stream annually from that RNG project. Hydrogen is a clean fuel that can easily store and deliver usable energy, and is produced by splitting water or natural gas molecules that can potentially be injected into our existing natural gas infrastructure. This fuel source can be used typically in industrial, transportation, and electric sectors. Next slide, please. We've also launched the Smart Neighborhood Project. This is a research and conceptual project that explores the role natural gas plays in expanding affordability and access to renewables while ensuring affordability, reliability, and resilience. It will be the first of its kind, integrating natural gas technology with renewables and developed as an affordable housing community. It will demonstrate how natural gas can be combined with rooftop solar to lower carbon emissions and help low-income communities access net zero ready buildings. We hope to have more information on this initiative in the coming months. Next slide, please. So we believe energy choice benefits residents and businesses alike. Access to natural gas keeps energy costs low, and residential energy costs have been lower than the cost of propane, fuel oil, or electricity since 2010. Business and residential customers saved $24 billion over a 10-year period because of access to natural gas. And really, policies or ordinances that limit customer energy choice for new or existing construction may force customers to use higher cost energy. As an important contributor to the Illinois economy, we are dedicated to investing in programs and initiatives that enrich the communities we serve by leveraging our assets and resources to improve the quality of life for these communities. Next slide, please. So in closing, due to the abundance, affordability, and relative carbon footprint of natural gas, along with our extensive distribution system and developing renewable energy sources, we believe Nicor Gas will play a meaningful role in the transition to clean energy and a net zero future in Northern Illinois. We are focused on opportunities to lead the industry in the use of renewable natural gas, elimination of methane emissions in our operations, and reducing greenhouse gas emissions for our customers with robust energy efficiency programs and new technologies, and look forward to achieving these goals together.
Thank you, David. Does anybody have any questions? Nobody? I just have one comment. Congratulations on the 893 metric tons that were saved. But in comparison, this was a comment I was going to make. I've been talking a couple of times lately about the Caldor fire in California because close to home, my brother lives one town over from that. And those fires in California this summer dumped 91 million tons of carbon into our atmosphere. So the 893 metric tons is well done, but we are fighting a losing battle if we don't get control of some of this stuff. So,
and we have improvements to make there too. A lot of our customers don't realize, all the energy efficiency offerings that we do have. We have free energy kits. We do free home assessments, not only for residents, but for businesses alike. So we're working on programs, and we're starting to work more with the communities to get the word out on those kind of programs. But again, we're looking upstream as well for different kind of energy source with RNG and possibly hydrogen. And we're testing that right now with the hydrogen to make sure that we can inject that into our infrastructure. So yeah, I mean, that is, it sounds like a lot, but when you compare it to an event like that, there are certainly more efforts to be made.
well, and please share that, the information that you just talked about with, helping people to conserve more with joy, and we can push that out to our communities. We'd be more than happy to do that.
Absolutely. We're always looking for opportunities like that.
Great, great. Thank you for coming this morning, David. I appreciate your presentation.
Thanks for having me.
Moving along, we're going to hear from our lovely partner at Scarce, Kay McKean.
Morning, everybody. I really appreciate getting to show you guys some of the examples that are going on about what frustrates our residents. But this was the Earth Flag ceremony at Elmhurst Public Library. They really have done a tremendous amount of work over and above what any library has needed to do to earn this Earth Flag. It has really been a delight to work with them. But as I mentioned last time, if you get a chance to see their maker station and their lending library, Sheila was there.
Yeah, it really mind-blowing as to what they offer there. It was pretty
More and
cool.
more of our libraries are trying to add some more things that people can check out. And this would be, we talked to them and they are willing to have a workshop, host a workshop for other libraries in our area to help them see what they're doing very successfully. It was impressive. So go ahead. So we try to take advantage of opportunities that come our way to teach, teaching different groups, reaching different people, reaching the non-greenies, if you will. How do you do that? So Cantini has a Carecrow project going for 5 weeks, and they invited us to be one of the exhibits. So we reused pallets. We took apart pallets and made 6 scarecrows. Our volunteers made those. And so the earth is in trouble. So let's rethink what we're doing. And so composting and no idling and recycling properly. So the earth is getting better and kids are helping, and everything in our thing is reused. Every single thing. We did not buy anything for this exhibit. And then now it's better. So here there's no plants because the soil is depleted because we are composting. Here we're composting. Here are litter bags picking up recyclables, and then clean air, water, and soil is going to lead for healthy people, planet, and so forth. So it's a great opportunity to reach people in a different way, and it's 5 weeks of exposure. So we were really grateful to be invited to do that project. Go ahead. West Chicago had a great project to encourage people to drink water instead of pop, reduce sugar and so forth. So they had, I don't know how many cups they originally bought of these, but they called us and they had 11,000 cups. They wanted to know if they could get them recycled. And I said, well, how about if we get them reused, at least used one time? So Wayside Cross in Aurora is a very interesting and difficult ministry that they have. So they came and picked up the 11,000 reusable cups that we had. That's a lot that didn't go in the garbage. It didn't go to be recycled. We had donated a bunch of hand sanitizer that we can't use all of that. So we donated that. Somebody gave us 10,000 masks. And while we've given them, we had them at the entrance to Scarce, so teachers could just take whatever they needed for their classrooms. But but it's 10,000. So they took those, and then somebody, we don't take clothes, but somebody donated coats. So they left with a whole lot of stuff that could have gone to the landfill had these folks not called. These are number 5 plastic. They're pretty sturdy. They are recyclable, but this is way better to get in reuse. So we're grateful when groups call us rather than just put it in the recycling bin. So go ahead. So the pumpkin smash, you guys, we have more towns than ever. We have 20 towns registered already, and Westmont should get us their paperwork today. That'll make 21 towns. So we have lots of Lyle Township, okay? The east, the DuPage County portion of Aurora now has a project. So we are thrilled. I mean, 21 projects. So that's incredible. More and more people are going to learn about food scrap composting and no contaminants. Go ahead. So we did get the 1 grant so far to help with smoke detector recycling. I volunteer at the Wheaton recycling event with electronics and textiles the second Saturday of most months. Not always there, but try to be. And we get 5 to 6 smoke detectors each month that eWorks is not able to take. So our commission has voted this last meeting to purchase one of these collection bins. And so now we'll have our project and have that project, and then Elmhurst has a project to keep that radioactive waste out of landfills. We're really excited. And then we did apply for another grant, and we'll see if we get that. Go ahead. So Menards is now taking LED bulbs. We are thrilled with those being able to be recycled. It's brand new. They really don't even have anything on their website yet. But we talked to the corporate, and they're eager to have LED bulbs. So that is fabulous to keep those out of landfill. There's a little diode in there, right? Circuit board. So it's definitely recyclable. It's our first, IKEA in California takes them. Our IKEAs locally don't yet, but I think we're going to see more companies taking those. So go ahead. So when we talked last time about greenwashing, this packaging, more and more people are getting packages delivered. This packaging tells you to put it in your curbside bin. And then over here, it tells you curbside recyclable. And it is absolutely, it is not recyclable in flexible packaging. And it is not recyclable in your curbside packaging. So I called Jordan, who heads up the Group 2 recycling facilities. They are seeing gobs of this stuff. So it's a tangler for us that we talked about. It says it 2 ways. When I was on that state committee, we wanted to know if there was a way to go to companies that say that kind of stuff and say that is not true, find them or something. But you can see the confusion for our residents. If they're doing the right thing and they read the information, and they put that in the recycling bin, and then it ends up being a contaminant. So 2 times they tell you on that. If you go to their website, they show you that packaging in a cardboard box, and they say put the whole thing in your recycling bin. Don't flatten the cardboard, don't separate it. So somehow we have to have a way to go to those companies and say you can't do that. But you can see how frustrating this is to the residents. Go ahead.
Excuse me, can't that be like a law passed?
We talked about it in that council that I was on. We talked about that. And so you could maybe make a law, and then 2 days from now, somebody figures out a way to separate it. But this is the problem. This is what these sorters look like. And then this is what it looks like about 2 hours after opening. So they have to clean those runners, if you will, twice a shift. It takes about 45 minutes, depending, of course, on the size of the facility. So if you're running a company in twice a shift, you have to shut down all of your equipment because it's all connected, right? Shut down all of your equipment and clean that out. And Jordan says, workman's comp, this is terrifying because you have to go in there with razor knives and pliers to pull all that stuff out. And he says they're just getting gobs of this. So this is what the MRFs are dealing with. This is what companies are telling residents. So then when you can see the frustration, then people just throw their hands up like, forget it. So go ahead. So this is why we've been able to do so many programs. Today, we've got Hinsdale South High School at Scarce this morning and this afternoon. This is their AP Environmental Studies classes. But we have enough tables that we rescued from a site that was going to be demolished in Naperville. So we got all these tables for free. So each student has their own table. And then we can also do virtual hybrid kind of TV, right, as well as people in person. So that's why we've been able to do we couldn't have done it in our old facility. This facility allows us to do the social distancing and have everything on exhibit. So today, the Hinsdale South kids are there, like I said, and this is Energy Month, October is Energy Month. So they're going to be working on the energy bike and the blender bike, as well as some other issues. They're there for 2 hours. We feel really fortunate to have the kids there for 2 hours. Go ahead. Upcoming events. So York's Earth Flag ceremony is tomorrow morning. Naperville Rotary is hosting their second recycling extravaganza. It's going to be held in Warrenville, October 23rd. The Pumpkin Smash is coming up. We are thrilled with the Pumpkin Smash too. Wooddale just joined Itasca. They're going to be promoting it, so just one dumpster, but getting more pumpkins. So we're glad for that partnership. Woodridge, the Christ the Servant Church, is hosting their second event of the year, and then the cooking oil to be turned into biofuel is November 27th. So that's what's going on. And last thing you should know, for Glenbard West High School, Pat McRoy was one of our interns, and he now is one of the lead folks on those forever chemicals. He works in the state of Maine, and he's been working on the forever chemicals. Outstanding young man, working on something really important. So
Thank you so much, Kate.
Thank you.
Here, thank you.
Great. Does anybody have any old business this morning? Seeing none, any new business? And seeing no new business as well, without objection, we are adjourned.